Hi, Nathaëlle. Welcome. Welcome on ABO. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
Are you tired today or are you okay?
Now the discussion starts and it's waking me up, but it's
It's Friday, so end of the week, end of a busy week. You were in Japan.
I was in Japan. I just came back last night. Yes.
At midnight.
At midnight.
So thank you for being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So Nath, if I may call you Nath,
yes.
You're the global manager of Melvita.
Mm-hmm.
Melvita is a brand that belongs to L'Occitane Group,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
we're in a room
The headquarters of the L'Occitane.
exactly
Yes.
in Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
So the brand was founded in 1983 in the south of France. It's a French brand, and you have a few hundreds of staff across the world.
Yes, especially in Europe and in Asia, mostly.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're present in 20 markets.
20 markets, exactly.
That's right.
Yes.
And the brand is a beauty brand committed to providing organic
skincare. Absolutely.
Yes, high quality organic skincare. So you not only care about the skin of your customers, but also the environment.
Exactly. Yes.
And the brand got like strict certification, like organic certification.
It's one of the first brands ever to be certified. Okay. It's actually started the process of certifications. Yes.
And is there a specific amount, like a percentage of organic products that you gotta have in each product?
Yes, there are. It's really quantified by the level of materials you use.
Okay.
So for each product, we have to demonstrate the percentage of natural ingredients that we use. And we reach levels that are very commonly at least 99.56789.
And many, like most brands, what would be the percentage to compare?
When some brands have 80, they would claim it. It's already very high.
Okay. Is your beauty routine 100% Melvita products? Don't lie.
But most of it has become Melvita. I actually was using Melvita before I worked for Melvita.
Okay.
So yes, I really came to the brand as a user. That's very sincere, but it's not everything. I'm very curious. I'm very open. And when I travel, I love to buy local brands, for example. So I'm always buying new things to discover. And there are some pharmacy brands that I've been loyal to since I was a kid because my parents were pharmacists. So I've been in this environment of healthy skincare forever.
Okay, makes sense. Well, yeah, you answered that well. So as the general manager of Melvita, your scope is global, you have a lot of responsibilities. Are you living the life you were picturing as your best life when you were younger?
When I was younger. I'm living a life that's better than that dream. I never dreamt of an international career. Clearly, I have the job of my dreams today with products I really believe in, a brand that is committed, living in Hong Kong. It's checking many, many boxes that, if I could have checked one, I would have been happy. And now it's kind of checking all of them. I found a good balance between my work and my family as well. I have time for myself. So it's on many, many levels better than what I could have dreamt of.
And how did you make it to the top?
Well, I've been in the same company for 17 years now. It's really a combination of being very authentic within the company and working in a company that has values that I share and being myself with them. I'm always very transparent, committed, and open about what I think. So I believe there is a high loyalty between the management and myself.
17 years?
17 years, exactly. And it's a family group, so it's not only business, it's also relationships that mature, and get stronger. And it's been mostly seizing opportunities. My husband moved and I followed him, and I guess I'm a person who likes the change and to accept what comes as a possible next step. So it's a combination of many things.
Very party. And what deeply motivates you, what deeply stimulates you, can be professionally, but also personally. I can start if you wanted. Maybe it gives you idea. But for example, I'm highly motivated when I learn something. But that means a lot of things. But I think being curious, so learning about people's stories. This is deeply connecting. Deeply connecting with people. But also, I don't know, sometimes I will ask myself like so many questions in one day. Like, for example, I was in Vietnam eating a banh mi and I was like, is this like French? Has this French roots? Where does it come from? It's like baguette bread in the middle of Asia. And then I Googled, and if you see my Google history,
it's random.
It's so random. So this really motivates me in like professionally, also with the podcast, but also in my personal life.
Well, I feel very close to I relate a lot to what you said. I also really like learning. I like languages, especially. I like, as I get older, time has become the most important thing. Allocating my time. And planning for the ideal allocation of time between the people I love and work, of course, and being there, with the people I'm having I'm doing a hike with, or being with my friends when I sit down with them, or being with my family when we're together. Really being present has become something that is very important as a driver. Feeling the commitment and giving time to what really matters.
And so you're traveling a lot. We just said you went to Japan. Tokyo. And you're the global manager, so it makes sense that your scope is global, but you're based in Hong Kong. Why are you based in Hong Kong? Is this a strategic choice from the company or your choice?
It's both, actually. I really want to live in Hong Kong. I really love Hong Kong. I like the lifestyle here. I like that it's so much about outdoors and in the middle of Asia, and I like the vibe, and I like everything about this city, really. And also, here in the headquarters, it's the regional headquarters for Asia, where clearly for Melvita, we have a huge potential of growth. So it makes sense for everything, really.
Okay. And are there specificities to Hong Kong or maybe Asia more broadly when it comes to skincare?
Yes, absolutely. Of course, for products, the skin is different. So this is obvious. You need different expectations, different results that are that the clients want to be visible.
Have you seen this trend? I've just seen this, the glassy skin. This is very Asian, right?
Exactly. It's a good example. And these things now they are, sometimes they arrive in Europe, but they remain very, very minor. They are much significant. So there's definitely differences in the skin type and skincare expectations, but also the level of understanding of what's organic, healthy, natural, etc. is very different. So when at the moment we are relaunching Melvita, we're doing a new brand platform, new communication, new packaging, etc. We have two levels. We have a more advanced terms and concepts in Europe, where the clients are very mature and have very high expectations of commitments toward nature, society. And we have something that is a little simpler to explain in Asia, to make more sort of an onboarding of our clients, more gradual steps to take them into this world of the healthy skincare, the committed skincare.
And how do you do that? Like, is there a part about educating then?
Yeah, absolutely. It's training and communication. It's how we train our teams and then how we communicate to our clients down the line.
And do you use the French touch ingredient, because this is a French brand? Do you use that in Asia
as a selling argument? Well, it's kind of obvious. We don't use it because it's very obvious that the products are French, And the name of the name of the brand is obviously French.
Melvita?
We do explain that we are produced in France. This is something that is really, really important for me and for the clients also. So we actually wrote it on the new logo, that it's made in France, yes.
And you said you lived in many different cities,
yes.
and you were not expecting to have an international career, interestingly enough. So you lived in New York, you told me, in Tokyo, and you speak Japanese. Did you practice your Japanese?
I did, and I went to karaoke also.
Did you lose it a bit? Do you practice it?
It comes back because I go often enough.
Okay.
I don't write it and I don't read it, but I do speak it. It comes back. But I'm able to say little sentences, but outside of work, really.
Okay. And you also travel to France. You told me a month every quarter. I think, I was fascinated. I was like, wow, this is great. Like, I would picture myself having this perfect balance.
Well, you enjoyed the best of all places.
Yeah. But also I was thinking about this, and all the cities you lived in are all big cities, like busy lifestyle.
Yes.
And then, so I thought, and also I know that you like outdoors activities. So I was wondering, there's a trend. Maybe this trend will last. I don't know. There's a lot of trends all the time, but this slow life trend, like more and more people try to practice mindfulness. A bit what you were saying, like when you are doing something, you only think about this thing.
You dedicate yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, your mental space.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I see that more and more, and also famous people talk about this because we have crazy lives, and also with social media, with all of this, our phone is always calling us like to scroll on social media. So how do you find balance? How do you stay healthy, grounded? Don't you ever want just to hit pause and just lie down in the dark and don't speak to anyone?
Well, it's a question that I think of very often, actually. I'm very disciplined about that.
Okay.
I work out every day. So either I run or I practice yoga or Pilates, but I have this time every day that has become a need.
Okay.
I try to, really isolate the time. So I have time for work and time for family. When I travel, I work a lot. And I get up very early, and I work even after dinner. I really work and maximize my professional impact when I'm abroad. And then when I'm at home, I'm very strict on sleeping early, eating very, very well. I have a very strict regimen, and I'm outside most of the time. So it's a balance of outdoors, diet, exercise, and grounding. I'm too impatient for meditation, and then after 5 minutes of meditation, I have a to-do list in my head, and clearly I have not reset anything at all. It's worse, I have to start writing down what I have to do after. But I do find relaxation in the exercise and in being with people also. Being with people I love is really like hitting the pause button, is really sitting down and enjoying 1 hour or 2 hours of being comfortable with someone.
Yeah, I guess enjoying the moment that you're living now. And I would say I'm the same with meditation. I'm very bad at this because I never stop thinking.
You think of
but at least doing meditation in a way, like doing an activity.
Yes.
I mean,
for you, just that. Something that you do for yourself.
Yeah. And then your mind doesn't think. When you're hiking, for example, it's so difficult. Well, you can see behind us, like some peaks that are pretty steep.
You're into what you're doing.
Yes.
You're looking at the steps. You're taking the sun. You're boosting your body. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's also useful for creativity. I find when I don't exercise, for example, if a week I really cannot do it, I feel that I'm lost, on some topics. I don't find the solution, and I'm less available mentally.
Yeah.
opens your mind. It broadens your thoughts.
Exactly. How would you say how does your creativity speak in your work? Because creativity, many people will think about artistic things, but actually you can be creative even if you work in finance, I guess.
I think I work on a very small brand that's still working in a very entrepreneurial way. So most of my creativity today is mostly creative solutions. When we're facing big problems, we have to find small ways around. And Melvita benefits within the company from a lot of support and love. So we have like this network with, I have people I can call and say, okay, I'm stuck. We need to find something, and we sit down. And it's mostly, for work, it's mostly on interpreting the brands market by market. For example, in Tokyo yesterday, I was sitting down with the GM and we wrote how to adapt the brand in Japan. This is really highly creative. It's really, I don't create with my hands at all, but it's mostly about playing with the concepts in the different markets, I would say, is the most common.
And do you speak to, I guess, you speak to the GM in Japan, I guess speaking to many different people, then,
Absolutely. My mind works, my mind is activated by other people's energy and games and play in general. So it's very, it's really about connections, and
interesting.
And the state of mind.
Yeah. And we just said earlier that the brand Melvita is very sustainable. This is something very important for you. And we can see, people don't see, but what I see there is like recycle here. It's like very present. This is a value you share. How do you apply this to your lifestyle?
Okay. Well, I take a lot of flights. So, of course, there is a high need for compensation. Personally, what we do at home, for example, is more and more circularity. Reusing, for example, when we move, I resell everything before I move with the minimum and buy second-hand furniture. This I really start doing. Same for the kids stuff, It's mostly circularity. And I'm really convinced that education has a part to play. So I try to, especially through my kids' network or my own, have some games or activities around this. I don't do that every weekend, of course, but I'm committed to a few times a year doing these sort of sessions, games or conferences around this topic.
Okay. And because also in Hong Kong, the lifestyle, since I'm here, sometimes I'm horrified. I see the lifestyle, even I was hiking the other day, I see cans like on the floors. And I had nothing on me to, I'm not going to finish my hike with an empty can of someone else. And I was like, I wish I had a plastic bag to just take all of this pick up from the floor, because it's just a mess, and all the plastic and everything. How do you feel about that?
Well, I do have a plastic bag.
And when you hike?
Yes.
Okay.
I have water bottles, etc. I think in Hong Kong, and in many markets, it's not there yet, but when it changes, it will change fast. And what we see is that with our business and brand initiatives, we have more and more people following. We opened, when I was a GM in Hong Kong a few years ago, we opened a store on about sustainability, a pop-up store, and it was very minor at the time. And today I'm just coming back from a really, really big event in Harbour City that L'Occitane is having, with thousands of people who are planning to come in the next 2 weeks. So it's about plastic odyssey, it's about recycles and cleans the ocean. And only in 4 years, the expectations and the commitment of people seems to have increased.
Okay.
So I think it's coming. It's only a matter of time. It's really how early.
Yeah.
But it's coming for sure.
Okay. Let's have a quick break with, I haven't told you about this. Don't panic. It's just quick questions. Okay. It's fun. It's not about work. Okay, it's just about yourself. So there are 5 questions. You need just to answer quickly. but it's
Okay.
more personal stuff.
Okay.
So your favorite city in Asia?
Tokyo.
Well, you almost said Hong Kong, but Tokyo.
It's Tokyo for sure.
Tokyo.
Yes.
Okay. The best Asian country for outdoors activities?
Hong Kong.
The last expensive thing you bought?
A pair of shoes.
Oh, what brand? Can we?
Whittle.
Oh,
Yeah.
one beauty product you can't live without?
Well, I'll choose a Melvita. No extra from Melvita. It's a very versatile product, and since I'm always on the go, it's very convenient. It's a lotion or an essence or a serum or and it's easy to take wherever with you.
Okay. Korean or Japanese skincare?
Japanese.
Japanese. Easy, right?
Easy, very easy.
And then there's one more question. It's like a fun fact question, but you have more time to think. What are the 3 Asian countries that spend the most on cosmetics? I'm not even sure about my answer, so maybe...
I would say Korea, Japan, and cosmetic. There has to be smaller markets. China?
Well, maybe my numbers...
I was expecting, like China seems like the reasonable answer, but I was expecting maybe growing markets,
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe listeners will fact check this because I'm not sure. This is all fake news. But I found China, Japan, Korea, but I found also that India is growing a lot as well. I guess you know that already.
Yes. The spending in India, yes.
Yeah. Also now it's the world's biggest population, right? Yeah.
I've, for example, in Mexico, the spending. This is I just heard that the spending by household is 5 times bigger than in the US for beauty. The percentage.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's mostly for fragrance, though. It's not only beauty, but
yeah, because there are fragrance, skincare.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Interesting. But yeah.
Well, let's see what people do.
Yeah. Maybe it's totally wrong. I don't think it's wrong. I think maybe it's
I don't
not...
think it's wrong.
Yeah.
There is not so wrong.
And back to serious business. So we were talking about organic products and the fact that there's a part of education that needs to be done, at least in Asia, in Hong Kong. So because in Europe, in France, where you spend a month a recorder, it's very different. The people are more aware of, why it's better, not only for the planet, but also for themselves. So how are you planning on exactly, do you have like a plan to get there here, like in Hong Kong, to really educate the people? You were talking about that event. Are there other things?
What we do is we choose one topic.
Okay.
And we don't stop until we believe we've explained it enough. And then we move to the second one. Previously, we were trying to say everything at the same time. It doesn't work. Everybody's lost. It's impossible for the beauty advisors to remember, for the commercial teams to remember. It's too hard and it's not interesting. So now we do one thing at a time. And we let our markets choose one item they want to focus on. For example, Japan is more about oceans, biodegradability, the health of what's living under the water. In Hong Kong, they're more about recyclability. It's important that we choose an angle that resonates locally. In France, it's mostly about the health of the soils and the health of individuals.
Yeah.
So whatever makes sense for the clients, we bring information and then we try to, pull a little bit on the thread and then move to the next topic. It's a very gradual process. We have plans, of course, but it's mostly you feel you've done enough when other brands or your clients themselves start to say the things. Then you think, okay, that's the we can do the next one.
Yeah. And do you see, what about also organic food? I know Melvita is not about food. I don't think so. Maybe in the future we can eat cosmetics. I don't know. But what else, do you see this also evolving?
Yes, I think it all goes together. I think it all comes from an awareness on your ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
The air you breathe, the food you put in your mouth, the products you put on your skin, it all comes together, more or less fast, depending on where you live, and in different order, maybe. And also, I believe it's really the cycle of life that brings you to that. When I became a mom, for example, I became much more aware of some of the things that I was not paying attention to before, like what you put on your skin, typically, or how you cook, or the materials you have at home, what you clean your house with. That's a whole new world that you're paying attention to. And I believe in these step-by-step discoveries, individually, but also at the scale of a country, for example.
Yeah, because maybe it'll start, if you have a baby, you think about the detergent or something like that.
Exactly.
Gradually.
And your laundry, and it's concentric circles, it's and then you open a little door, there's more, and there's more, and there's more. And when you get into it, it never ends.
Yeah. And you feel the benefits, so
exactly,
you're not going backwards.
And you feel empowered, and you can take action. And working with Melvita, it's a dream for that also. Having a brand that I strongly believe in its values and in its quality and its commitment. So it's wonderful to have this playground to share with everyone.
And what's the big thing on your to-do list for the coming years for Melvita?
Well, for the moment, we're relaunching the brand in our existing markets. Now, I will soon start a phase of expansion. So I'm starting to answer the requests we're receiving from distributors or potential clients, and we will actively prospect as well. So there is a big commercial part. And also we are working on we have developed this great brand platform. We want to take it to a more interactive level with the clients. Now we know what we want to say, and we want to build communities with our clients. So it can be our database, some influencers we want to work with. It's really about creating this community of Melvita lovers to continue to make the brand shine.
This is actually a strategy that I see with some brands, and that is super powerful because we're bombarded with many, especially in skincare. There's a lot of competition. Also influencers launching their own brands. And actually this makes sense because people love them. So of course they buy anything they sell.
Exactly.
So I see more and more brands going towards that direction. And I guess it makes it more authentic because...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a more genuine prescription when it comes from people you trust than when it comes from
an ad.
An ad, exactly.
Well, now this brings us to the last question already. I hope this gave you energy back. Better than a coffee.
Last question, I was at
We can keep talking if you want. So this is a question I asked to all the CEO I have on the podcast. What do you say are the 2-3 elements to be a successful leader? Tough question.
Yes. I would say that it's definitely first believing in what you're doing. I don't think you can be good in a top position if you don't incarnate and truly believe. So it's more than leading by example, is sharing your conviction. It has to be true. It has to be something you're not good at, but you're convinced by. The humility to fail. I think the world is changing. You look at China, digital, everywhere. It's very, very fast. And I think it's important to face the fact you don't know how to do it anymore and learn from other people. So I definitely put humility after the passion. And I believe to be transparent also. It's something that I believe is hugely important for the success of a team. Transparent on what can be done, what were the difficulties you're facing, looking at the truth, and being being open on the challenges you have, and if you're transparent about what's lying ahead of you, it's easier to prioritize. It's easier to know on what you're ready to take risks. It's easier to just communicate with everyone before and be clear on what you know you can deliver and what you might not, and at least use that as a learning process. Does it make sense?
Yeah,
I feel it's not very clear, but
also something I heard, well, just yesterday we were talking about like executive leaders and CEOs and the fact that they don't know everything. You can't always catch up on everything. This is impossible. And we were talking about the importance of trust and surround yourself with, skilled people.
Absolutely.
And you trust them because they have the expertise. Absolutely. You recognize you don't have it. So humble, and you trust them.
Exactly.
To make decisions.
Yes. Yeah. And you can be, again, it's this transparency. Exactly. It's, I don't know how to do it. I will, I will help in the environment of what you're doing, but it's yours. It's for you to handle, and it's also exciting for your teams when you have this approach because it's more empowering. Yeah. It's more rewarding.
Yeah. Yeah, you involve your team.
Exactly. It's a real team adventure. Absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Nath.
you. Thank you. It was a great time. Thank you.
Yeah, I really liked it. I will add, maybe should I add your LinkedIn, or do you want people to reach out to you or not?
To tell me the market? Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.